Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Pierre. Always love that dramatic intro.
I know. It's the elevator music for the countdown. For some reason, I'm like,
Smooth jazz. Yeah. And then bam.
I hear you're waiting for a laptop today.
Yes.
April Fools, it's not coming.
It's not funny. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
waiting for my work laptop.
Supply chain issues are real.
Yeah. Yeah, they
I've
were
been
delivering it yesterday, and then April Fools, we're not. So.
I've been on a waiting list for close to a year now for a 3080 Ti at my local shop.
Yeah. I don't even know what that is.
And an NVIDIA graphics card.
Chip. Yeah, card.
And there's no way in hell I'm spending $2,000 on a card that has a suggested retail price of like $700 Canadian.
Oh wow! Yeah,
it's just nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes no sense. Plus, like NVIDIA just released another one. It's like almost $3,000 Canadian for a graphics card, and I'm thinking, what kind of computer do you put a $3,000 graphics card in?
A $5,000 one, maybe. You're building a car.
Exactly. Like you're spending more on a PC than for gaming than you are on a car. It just makes no sense to me. Today's April Fools.
Yes, it is.
Anybody made any joke on you today?
No, but I want to do one to my husband, Nick, because there's automation. You just got an iPhone. There's automation in there.
Yep.
And this one lady, she changed so every time her husband like plugged in his phone to charge, like it made a crazy sound or did something. So I think I might do that to him. Just see what happens. But I miss working in an office. We used to do so many crazy things, like the annoying noisemaker put in someone's wall and they wouldn't know where the sound's coming from, or putting their screen upside down,
We 1 year
or screenshotting their desktop and then they're clicking and it's just a picture though.
Oh yeah. 1 year, my boss's office is like a cubicle, but it's like that was before our existing boss. That was prior to. I would never do that to my boss now. He's in the chat room.
No.
It's we lifted the ceiling tiles outside of his office, and then we reached in and took the ceiling tile inside of his office, and we filled the cubicle or that little office with those balls from a ball pit.
Yeah.
I think we had 55 big garbage bags of those balls that we just dropped in. So when they showed up and he opened the door to
that's awesome. That takes a lot of effort. I mean, that's better. I mean, we just
but he made us clean it.
Oh no! All right.
Yeah, so that kind of soured the joke a little bit.
That's when you get the local daycare kids. Hey.
Yeah, but today's no joke. Today we're here, and welcome to you all. And we are also broadcasting on LinkedIn Live today. So for those of you joining us on LinkedIn Live, and I'm looking at the stats, though there's 2 attendees. So sweet. Welcome aboard to AzUpdate, the show where we look at the news and the shenanigans coming out of Redmond, the mothership in Redmond. So how about we jump right into it?
Let's do it.
So the first news, first item of a newsworthy item this week is the general availability of Azure Data Explorer support for conditional access, which has been, for a long time, I was wondering why that didn't happen. And we use Data Explorer for many reasons. You can, if you have a big data set that you want to ingest or do some data analysis, you can use Azure Data Explorer. But up to now, it wasn't protected by, like, it wasn't listed, or you couldn't list it as a enterprise application in your Active Directory, and therefore could not set up conditional access.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah. So now, for considering that most enterprises are getting more and more security conscious, which they should.
Good.
It's a
Yes.
good thing. It's a really good thing.
Yeah.
So now when you have people in your office that can go in and access that data, there's no more excuses. You can connect and set up conditional access. So something that you can only ingest or remove data from an account that is from a trusted location on a corporate device that is updated to the right specs. Like, you have some control, or you can say, if you're outside of X geography, you cannot access that data. So all of the tools that you can have in order to like kind of lock it down so that your enterprise or your organization or your people are safe. You can do that starting now. Well, it's not even the preview. This is like generally available. So it's ready to be used in production. And if we look at conditional access at a greater, I know Joey Snow in the last patch and switch kind of mentioned it a little bit. Why would you not want to use conditional access for anything? So,
right.
If you're an admin, then you need two-factor
2 hours.
authentication.
Yeah.
Actually, two-factor authentication should be for everyone.
Yeah.
But if you've got special rights, well, you can only do it from these machines. And like, I think it's so powerful. And it's significant. It's really not that hard to set up. Yes, I understand people are going to say there's license issues and stuff like that, but I think it's a small price to play for peace of mind.
Right. Definitely.
What do you think?
I think so too. I mean, I didn't even know you could just some random person could use Data Explorer and go through your data. So,
well,
not a random person, but someone in IT could go through.
That's right. You still had to authenticate, but
right. But now you can be like, no, this is payroll data, and you can.
Well, if you're putting payroll data in Azure Data Explorer, then there's other compliance issues that you need to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have a ghost of April Fool's Past in the chat room. Mr. Anthony Bartolo is joining us today. So welcome back, Anthony.
Due for a Call of Duty session. I wanted to play.
Ooh,
yeah,
that sounds good. Do you play?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I've been playing Destiny 2 right now, but yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to get you. We'll have to get you into the BGU, the Bad Gamers United team, because Rick needs somebody else to be last in the scoreboard.
Are you? Oh my God! But that's a double whammy. You just gave me. Oh my God! My feelings are hurt. I do suck. So.
Don't we all?
True. I don't know.
I get owned by 12-year-olds all the time.
I know. That's
all right. So if we jump into the second item.
This one's a good one. So cross-region snapshot copy for Azure disk storage is now available. And what's cool is you can save an incremental snapshot to another region to be able to recover from. And you're only paying for that little bit of storage. So you're not paying for the full snapshot. You can do your deltas somewhere else in case something goes wrong, and then restore from either the main snapshot or restore from your delta. And that's about it.
Well, I think it's great because well, first of all, we all know as IT pros and operations folks that one of the cheapest and quickest way, especially in the virtualized world, to protect yourself is to take snapshots of your disks. Like, I used to do that all the time, like prior to like updating even my lab here. before I update my machines, like roll out the patch Tuesday or something,
Oh yeah.
I'll go to the virtualization platform and I'll say, all right, take a snapshot, or I can't remember what I'm having a brain fart right now. I can't remember what it's called in a Hyper-V something point. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
A restore point or something like that.
Recovery point, maybe.
Recovery point. Thank you. Oh, and I would always like create those before I did something, so that if it went badly, I could just very quickly
revert,
go back to the snapshot, try it again, and it became kind of like a regular process.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can have your snapshots on your virtual machines in Azure, and then actually have those snapshots moved somewhere else or copied to another region. Because if that region goes down, you want to be able to, yes, exactly. It kind of gets part of it's another cog in the BCDR wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So you got replication of the machines into an environment. You've got now those snapshots that can be replicated.
Yeah, availability sets and zones, and it even says if you have ZRS, it'll use that automatically. So
yeah, so it's just one more things to. Sorry,
and it's really cool that you're only built for the little delta. So
I know. I'm keeping an eye on the chat, because today we've got, as mentioned, we're honored by Mr. Bartolo's return to AzUpdate, but Jared Shockley, Andrew McCallum is there, Paul Jensen, and I see others from LinkedIn as well that I can't really tell. Chevalier, Mr. Sri Chevalier, and two others are joining us, and on Twitch. I can't. No, I don't think we have anybody on Switch. Oh, we have 22 followers, but I don't think anybody's actually on the show. One, me.
That counts. Ask us a question.
It does count. If we go to the next news item, and I'm trying to find what we have here. We have the next news item is Azure Front Door. There's a new front door. We've replaced the front door. and it's not necessarily that it's new. The service has been there, but there's been a significant... Oh, Mr. Denis Talbot is joining us on LinkedIn. Denis Talbot is
Montreal.
A very, very well-known reporter for anything techno. Gaming mostly. Got a great show on Twitch, so follow him. So glad to see him for the first time in our little show.
I feel outnumbered with the Canadians. Just saying.
You feel outnumbered?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Canada. We trust you enough. You're gonna come steal our cheese on your ice skates and send all the cold air down.
Oh, because of Chicago cheese? Is that
Wisconsin.
the thing?
No, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Oh, okay. Anyway, so Azure Front Door, it's been around for a long time. It's a great way of managing your content delivery network across Azure and across maybe other environment, because you can set up different endpoints. So it's kind of part of your high availability processes. It's part of your potentially your BCDR, because if you have multiple sites, then multiple sites are hot. Then if one stops responding, a front door will automatically shift to the next one. So there's Azure Front Door sung with the polka dot door team. Okay, no, Anthony, I'm not singing that.
I'm trading cheese for maple syrup though.
So Azure Front Door, a new VCDN CDN network, and some significant improvement in terms of how much simpler it is, for example, to provision new DNS validation, how endpoint host names are auto-generated now, so that's to avoid subdomain takeover. So somebody can't steal a subdomain of your environment and basically put whatever they want on it. Expanded private link web application firewall, which was always there, but now it does use the DRS 2.0 rule set. And that's just to basically the DRS rule set is a set of rules that are agreed and backed by this organization that can't think of the name right now, on things that they clear out by default. So there's a new rule set, and we're using it with the bot manager. There's a whole bunch of other capabilities, mostly around the security side, that allows you to have a more secure, quicker, and more simplified way of building your content delivery network. So whether or not you're just sharing files or videos or complete websites or static sites, by using Azure Front Door as your content delivery network, you can significantly improve the way you do this.
Pretty neat.
It's actually it is pretty neat. I'm very I used to go through the Azure Front Door, like in terms of the setup, but it's been a while since I've visited it, and this kind of gave me a I gotta get back into it, and it is a completely operation thing, but it's been mostly used by developers, but it is IT, and it is infrastructure for us to take care of. So I really recommend everybody to go and check it out, Azure Front Door. If you have any way or in any shape are putting information out on the internet through application, through content delivery networks, or anything where you're publishing data, you should take a look at that. Definitely.
Take a look at that.
You should take a look at that. What is our last item for today?
Our next item is this really cool thing with ASR is you can have on-demand capacity reservation. So you have your site recovery, you have everything backing up, but can you actually power up the VMs that you want to recover? So this, you can actually make sure you have that that capacity and nobody can steal it. You do have to pay for it, but it's not set in stone like a 1-year reservation or 3-year reservation. You can say, I want this capacity for 3 weeks to spin up 3 DSv3s, just in case. So I think it's pretty cool. So you make sure you have that capacity before you start trying to recover and getting oh, sorry, you don't have the capacity to do this.
Well, I think one of the biggest benefit here is that some families of VMs that we have in Azure, we have had some, mostly because of the supply chain issues in the last 2 years and the growth in some region. Some of those VMs have become like you need to have quotas increased. And then when you start to try to deploy something, then you'll get like, okay, they may be an error. And it's happened to us internally, because we do have some more restrictions, because we want to make sure that the resources go to the paying customers, not just to the advocates that's trying to build a demo. But in your case, if you have that reserved, if it's your critical jewel, if it's the main application where your company makes money from, you want to make sure that if something happened, that nothing is going to stand in the way of the failovers to another region. So reserving that capacity and always having it there guarantees that your failover is not going to say, even though the chances are very low that you're going to try to fail over and that the compute's not going to be available. But wouldn't you want to put all of the chances on your side?
Yeah. I want to be that one telling my boss, so yeah, we have a copy of the VM. I can't power it up because
So good. Funny thing happened on April 1st. Yes, we did a failover. It didn't fall over.
Right. So I'm gonna go to lunch now.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
for the next year.
Yeah.
That's funny. So yeah, I think it's great, and anything that you can do in order to strengthen and strengthen and practice your BCDR, so your business continuity and disaster recovery process, should be done, especially if it's your critical systems. I find I find people that say, "Yeah, well, we run backups all the time." Okay, well, backups is a data retention. It's not necessarily a business recovery practice. Well, it is, but only if your RPO is like 2 days. Um,
I had where it took us a week to recover. The backups were on the storage that failed of the main devices, the VMs. I'm like, why are the backups on the same storage?
Yeah, and you get to a point where you get one full backup on Friday that runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then on Monday through Thursday, you get the differential. So if it fails on Thursday, you got to restore Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's not something that happens very quickly. It's a lot quicker in the cloud because you don't have to run to the bank to get the tapes, which I used to have to do. And I actually used to, that was the joke of the new guy every year on April 1st is we would give him a list of tapes and we would send them to the bank and say, you got to go get those tapes. We knew those tapes didn't exist. So he would be there for hours going through the safety deposit box at the bank looking for those tapes. Just because it's fun.
I would have given up after 30 minutes. We're like, all right.
Azure Site Recovery is your friend, and reserving the capacity that you're going to need in your failover site is a good idea for you to do. And we are coming towards the end of our show. We've got 7 minutes, but before we jump into that, we wanted to talk about our Learn module of the week. Dun, dun, dun. We should really have some like dramatic music.
Yeah,
for that.
I thought you had the mix board. Like, can't you?
No, I got rid of the board with the effects board on it because it took too much room on my desk, and I'm trying some new stuff now. So
whatever, no fun.
I've got like these. This is my new. Well, I got another one over there, but this is my new.
Of course you do.
It's my new
toy.
My new toy for controlling all my sounds. It's much smaller on my desk. It was getting a little involved with the faders and the soundboards and everything else. I had barely any room to move my mouse around.
DJ here.
But today, to get back on topic, today, our Learn module of the week, considering that we talked about Azure Front Door, we thought, have you run through this one, Introduction to Azure Front Door?
No, I'll be honest. I have not played with Azure Front Door at all. So I am actually going to take this one later.
So this one's actually a pretty quick one. It's 5, the introduction. What is it? How does it work? When do you use it? Your knowledge check. You can set it up in your environment. You can't set it up in the sandbox, which is why there are no real example in that. But just going through it kind of gives you a really good, on a well-rounded understanding of where it can help your environment be more resilient, be more accessible, because it is all about delivering content reliably to your stakeholders, whether they're customers or internal people.
Is that why they changed the name? Because I remember like Content Delivery Network was cool because you deliver it to someone, the content's closer to them. so it's fast, but then they change it to front door. I'm like, why is it front
No,
door?
it's not necessarily that, because the Azure Front Door is it's part of the content delivery network process, but it's not the content delivery network.
Oh, okay.
It just facilitates your connecting to the endpoint that are more efficient to you based on the policies that you've decided. So are you doing, if you're connecting to an environment, if you're connecting to an environment from, let's say, from Canada, then the front door will basically direct you to the Canadian website.
Right.
If you're coming in from the US, then you'll go to the US endpoint. If you're coming from Europe or Africa, you're going to go to the closest endpoint to you in order to make a better experience for the end user connecting. Yeah. And then that kind of sits on top of your content delivery network that basically replicates that data to all those endpoints. Plus, if one fails over, you can go to the next one. And because there's a lot of it is DNS based, where it redirects to a specific DNS. It doesn't necessarily have to be in Azure. It could be in Azure, but it also could be on-prem. So your backup site, your developer site. So if you're running like the 90-10 rule, where 10% of all your traffic is going to your test site for like bug check and in production stress testing, for example, it can facilitate some of that. So lots of power on that one. And I really think that we should all be very familiar with it, if not expert at it, because I know it can help all of our enterprises depending on what we're putting out there in terms. But if you are like an online retailer or stuff like that, this is definitely something that you'd want to check.
Definitely. I'll check it out.
Okay, somebody who wants more cowbells?
I said more cowbell because Anthony was like, air horn. So I was like, we need more cowbell.
No, I'm not. I got rid of the soundboard. But now that you mention it, now maybe I'll have to pull it out and make it come back. So we have
some Fridays
next week. It's Friday. It's April 1st. Are you awaiting the rest of your family to prank you in any way today?
I don't know. My 10-year-old is now acting like she's 16 and sleeping till like noon during spring break. So
no, that's just a regular teenager.
Oh, I know, but she's 10. I mean, she's like,
oh, okay.
The actual teenager wakes up at like 8. I'm like, what's going on here? But no, it'll probably be easy to prank her though, because she's kind of gullible. But that sounds really mean. So
well, there's a testing and production podcast broadcast today with myself, yours truly, and Jared on Twitch on the Patch and Switch channel, and I'm hoping nothing happens. I don't know if Jared
do something. Come on.
I don't know if Jared has planned anything. He's the producer today, so
nice. That'd be hilarious.
See how that goes.
I'll pay for that. Come on, Jared. You see, I like teasing Pierre.
Yes. You guys love teasing me. If it's not about my luscious hair, it's about my Canadian accent. All right, Amy, thank you very much for joining us. We are at time. It is 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Great.
Or is it daylight savings time? I forget.
It's daylight now. CDT here, Central. So
I can't wait till
Venmo is open. All right. Let me know how much.
No, it's 10:30. All right. So thank you very much for joining us today on Twitch, on Facebook, on LinkedIn Live, and on YouTube. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week on AzUpdate. Cheers.
Cheers.